call this meeting to order at 7:05 p.m. on Wednesday, February 26th, 2025. We have, should we do roll call normally?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who do we have here with us today?
Hi, Dana Wilson.
All right, I'm here. Doug is out. So as chair, he's out. So I'm vice chair. So I'll be stepping in and running the meeting. I'm John Babrisky.
Carrie Hogan.
Chris Belts.
This is Tom O'Connell.
Kim Lipinski.
All right. And we do have Cindy representing the union. Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. Okay, so we'll get started right away here and approve the minutes. I'll accept a motion.
I have one note for those.
Okay.
I was not noted as in attendance.
Oh, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Duly
That was it. Otherwise, it looked good.
Okay.
sorry about that oversight.
Not a big deal at all.
Okay. Any other? Well, so I think the way it works normally is that we do make a motion, and then we discuss it.
Okay.
So, does anyone want to make a motion?
I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes with the proposed amendment.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Carrie, seconded by Chris. So now, any further discussion on the minutes for January 22nd, 2025, along with the change for including Chris since he was there? Any other? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Declare the motion carried, and the minutes are approved. Okay. We'll move on to approving bills. Would anyone like to make a motion regarding the bills? Any motion at all?
I make a motion that we approve the bills that have been sent to our approval.
I think we typically want to be a little bit more specific about it.
Okay. Let me get,
At least that's kind of the precedent we've set.
okay, let me,
So maybe call out the warrant numbers
yeah,
along
let
with
me
the
get,
amounts.
let me go look at my documentation for that.
Do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
I got it right here.
Oh, do
Because
you?
all the warrant numbers
Oh,
and the
okay,
amounts are
thank
right
you.
there.
I didn't see that, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Do we want to approve them as a group, or do you want to go through them one by one? May I do a motion to approve all of them if I
I think
list
you
them?
can list the warrant and the amount, and then we can
Okay.
do all of them. And yeah, I
Oh,
think that's fine.
terrific. I make a motion that we approve the warrants for number 28, $12,528.68. I make a motion for us to approve warrant 31, $10,908.23. I make a motion that we approve warrant 32, which is for $7,827.68. I make a motion that we approve warrant 33, which is $4,658.05, and a warrant for number 34, which is for $2,272.77.
Do I hear a
Second that.
All right. Motion made by Dana and seconded by Chris. Any discussion on the warrants? I just have one question, just on the agenda. There was an original amount listed for warrant 28, but it's crossed off and there's a different number listed. Was that just written there in error?
It was intentional, because
Okay.
the original warrant was $16,906.81, but the amount in question was $12,528.68, as I understood it.
Oh, because this was the one
Last
from.
meeting.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. Can anyone refresh our memories on the reason we were waiting for that? I believe it was to discuss the funding source for that.
I believe it was looking into the account numbers for capital project expenditure, which is the $12,528.68.
Okay, and so this is correct now?
There was a question as to whether there were two different funds And there was a question as to whether they were actually the same funds, and our finance person has confirmed that they are.
Okay. Do we need any further information on that? Okay. So I was just checking my notes. So we needed to make sure that the money came from the Leeds money, and so that
And
is
that is correct.
that is
Okay,
correct.
good,
Okay.
good, excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you for
So
confirming
there's a
that.
question
Tom.
as to, it looked like it was coming from a different account, but it turns out that it's actually part of the Leeds account.
Gotcha. Okay.
Excellent work.
All right, great. So any further questions about the warrants and their amounts? I actually had one more question. There was a reimbursement for $500 for one of the librarians. Is there like a cap on the reimbursement we do at one time?
Do you know what that, does it show what it was?
It just says it's for one of the librarians. It says their name. I don't think I need to say right now unless you want to know, but
No.
it was for the end of December and it just says reim. So for reimbursement, I
Was
assume.
it for the,
I can probably pull it
holiday, like kind of like the staff meeting slash?
No.
Let's see.
I was more just curious because it's like a perfectly
Exactly
number.
$500.
yeah.
If it's what I think it is, and I think it is a reimbursement for education.
Oh, okay.
That somebody who's working on a degree is being reimbursed for part of their studies,
Okay.
but they're not reimbursed for the entire amount.
So is that the cap?
that's
So that's
gap.
the cap.
The cap.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. It's
Yep.
that's rounded.
Yeah, I assumed it was something like that, but I just wanted to
See it.
confirm. Okay, great. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Declare the motion approved. And the warrants and bills approved. All right. All right, ongoing business. Into the fun stuff. HVAC.
Indeed.
Okay.
Our the library's HVAC issues continue, and so I was reading over the notes from the last director's report about this, and it looked like this month's director's report because the issues continue. So the latest, as we stand, is that there were two compressor units being installed, which controlled different parts of the building. One controlled sort of the old wing, we'll say, the historic reading room and the area below it, and then another one controls the community room and the children's programming room. And so I had Renaud in to between that last time and this time, they came in and replaced two of those. So, growing out of that, there's been discussion between the technicians and the people at Renaud and myself, in that we need to revisit what's going on in the library because we're doing this much more frequently than we should be, and the compressors have all been under warranty, fortunately, but we're still paying for labor because the technicians have to come out and it's pretty extensive what they do. So it's been ongoing. It seems like it's been an ongoing issue for longer than I've been here, but that's another concern of mine. But it seems like it has to. We just have to address this, and so we're in the process of setting up a meeting with representatives from the library, from the town, hopefully the trustees. I'm hoping that at least Doug can be there, Renaud, and as well LG, who are the makers of the system, to do a walk around the building to see where the malfunctioning is taking place, and what we really need to do about it. Because right now it seems like we're just patching, we're just band-aiding the situation, and hoping for warm weather to arrive, and then we don't need to think about it until
No.
the next fall, and that's just not, it's not a lot of things.
Yeah.
Certainly not cost efficient.
Just kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, it is.
Is anybody from the town administrator's office going to be at that meeting?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. The assistant town administrator will be there.
terrific.
And
So-
when is that going to be?
Has yet to be confirmed because the people from Renaud, who I've been pronouncing Renaud, too many years of high school French, Renaud, the person who we really needed was away on vacation, so we were just
Okay.
waiting for them to get back.
Okay.
to,
And part of that will be also addressing the teen, which I know is on here too,
Yep.
addressing the issue in the teen librarian's
Right,
office.
right. Can we talk about that as ongoing business
Yeah, yeah,
together? Because they certainly flow into
yeah.
each
Yeah.
other.
They do.
So yes, with the continued HVAC issues, one of which being that the teen office does not have sufficient heating in there, and the temperatures in there are bone chill when it's cold outside. So one of the things that we want to look at with all the people that I mentioned is there a way that we can fix that situation? I'm not an HVAC person, but it seems that there's an invent but not a outlet.
Return.
Okay, return.
Yeah.
Which allows for the flow of the circulation of the warmer air, of whatever air. And so when the original design was done, that wasn't accounted for. And so the person who's been in that room, it's been two people, but they've been suffering through really, really cold winters. I will say that there was one additional issue, which I mentioned, which you might have seen in the director's report, that there was an issue of there's a window in the office.
Let's open a little bit.
You know, it doesn't take much. The angle in the room, there was a plaster, a lot like this, I think a duct, so that you really couldn't see the top of the window, and it was down about 2 inches. The window behind it was storm window, so I'm not sure how much, if any, that was contributing. It certainly wasn't helping the situation. So the maintenance department from the town was gracious enough to come out, and it was stuck, of course, right? Because it's a really old window, and it wasn't painted shut, but it was. I tried. I stood on the windowsill and tried my darndest to fix it without breaking window panes. Unable to, but the people from maintenance were able to come out and fix that. So it's closed and latched.
Great.
And it's 50 degrees out this week, so I'm not exactly sure whether it has improved the situation or not. But as I say, I'm sure hoping that it can have some improvement on that. Improvement, but certainly doesn't fix the situation.
No.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions. Do you know, was that window ever replaced? Is that an old window?
It does seem to be an old window. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I
It's
wondered.
that dark wood,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
It looks like 1927.
Yes.
I think we have pictures of it from the walkabout,
Okay.
so we can.
Okay.
And I was wondering too, so we don't have an engineer to really, I mean, you have expertise from Renard and then also the manufacturer,
Yeah.
but we don't have anybody. I guess they should be able to help us. It
Well, that's
seems
what
like
the
you almost need
meetings-
a redesign for that
So-
particular room.
You know, I've had a lot of opportunity to talk with HVAC technicians lately.
Yeah.
And the consensus, the theory seems to be that the system is not large enough to handle the system, the building, and so it's being forced to work much harder than it should be, and that's burning out the units. So, for instance, in the historic reading room, what we have are the two mini splits, I guess. We have the two mounted wall units, and the room is a cathedral. I mean, the room is huge with, high ceilings and old windows, and so I just don't know if that was sufficient. Again, I'm not an HVAC person, I'm not an engineer. I'm just somebody who goes in and sees every morning that it barely gets into the 60s in there. So it's been, in the mid 50s in that room. And so we've had patrons in there in winter coats and hats reading. Yes, there has been talk about, is it better to just make a substantial improvement to the system instead of just kicking the can? So
Yeah, but-
not as
much.
substantial as reducting the entire building, but the units, the compressor units, are certainly they're not working. They're not
And
working for us.
have they given any idea, like ballpark, as to what type of expense it might be, or we really have to wait till that meeting?
We're approaching finding that out. Yeah, that's really what the walk around will be.
But we definitely have to repair, I mean, that room, the librarian's room office is almost not usable, so that
Right.
has to be.
Right.
I mean, whatever that costs, we're gonna have to bear that, I would think.
I think at the very least we're going to need to do something in that room.
And did we put in, did those heaters help? Electric heaters?
Yes,
But not really, they're
Yes.
they're
I mean,
not, they're just on the
Band-Aid.
ground.
in proximity, yes.
Yeah.
We got one for there, and we got one for the particularly for the children's programming room, because the little ones, their bodies don't. So the community room, when we have belly dancing going on, and you got 30 adults in there doing belly dancing, doesn't feel that bad. It warms up a little bit. But when you have the little ones, and their body temperatures just don't adjust as readily, it's really too cold for them. There was 1 week where a couple of days we actually had to cancel
Yeah.
some programming, which was pretty painful for us.
Do you have more to add, Dana?
Yeah, I was just wondering, we're talking about now, the Wheelock Historical Reading Room, we're talking about the Teens Librarian's Office, and then also the Children's Program Room downstairs,
And
And
the
the-
community room.
And the community room.
and the community room.
Right.
And the teens room is okay. Oh, wait,
Pretty much.
okay.
Yes. So.
The
different-
community room, that is the cold room too?
Yes.
Wow.
They had to cancel in January too,
Yeah.
right?
So different units, the different compressor units handle different zones in the building.
Okay.
One question about the HVAC. In terms of the units that are currently up there, are they all new, say within the last, I know we've replaced them in a couple bouts. Are those all new, even if undersized at the moment? Do you know?
I'm not exactly
Well,
sure
they-
because I'm not exactly sure how many units are up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I know
think
we've
they would
replaced a
be
number
new
of them.
from when we,
have.
Yeah,
From the deve-
expansion and
what-
renovation
expansion of
that
the
was
building.
in
They're all new from then.
2021-ish, right?
But we've replaced a number, in some of them, I think maybe twice in the past, since I've been here in the past.
So
Really?
yeah, so my understanding is there was at least 3, and 2 of them had failed or were failing. So we
Right.
replaced those.
and what room is that, so we know?
I don't know which ones those
Okay.
had actually applied to.
Yeah,
I think we were kind of maybe under the impression it was, again, the historic reading room, because that gets really cold. Like basically all the rooms we just mentioned.
Okay.
But then you're also saying, Tom, just to clarify, that the two more units were replaced within the last month, essentially. So whether or not they were the same 2 that had been replaced before, we're not sure. Or,
One's on order. Sorry.
okay.
So we have
That-
4 new units
Right.
in totality as soon as you get the one that's on order.
Right.
Wow.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry. So we have at least 3 units. 2 had been replaced. 1 has been replaced again
Right.
but we don't know if it's
Right.
one of the same. And then we have 1 more coming that's
Right.
going to be replaced. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't know about the community room.
Yeah.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms we're
That's
talking
4.
about.
The rooms, yes, yes.
Yeah, so do we have, you said that we are, the Renaud person is back or will be back shortly?
Is back this week.
Okay,
So I'll
and
reach
then
out to them.
you'll be able to set up a meeting between
Yep.
yourself, the town, the trustees, Renaud and LG to be
Yes.
able to walk through the building and then figure out what's going on. Okay,
So if Doug is not available because he's traveling, can you just make sure that at least one of us?
I will reach out to somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
great.
If I'm around, I would go, but
Great.
Yeah, we'll see during the walkabout pictures also that there's just some wacky things going on with the HVAC. I kind of suspect it's beyond just the compressors aren't working.
Yeah.
And you know, it's definitely issues have existed since before you came along, Tom. But we always thought that they were kind of related to kind of the programming of the system and the scheduling and stuff going a little haywire or not being easy to understand or whatever that is. So, so yeah, hopefully, I mean, my suggestion would be we just figure out what needs to be done and, you know,
Do it so
take,
they will keep
take
on
the
paying.
costs and get it done. Because like you said, it's
Yeah.
we're gonna keep paying for
Yeah.
the maintenance to replace units again and again and again.
and we know the costs, right? To have the professionals come in and reinstall, right?
When they come to install, it is about $6,000 a time.
And they've done it 4 times. Okay.
Did you happen to see, did you ever happen to see, just for reference, anything saying like, oh, like here's the maintenance cost, $6,000, here's the unit replacement, but that was warranted? Did they happen off the top of your head? Do you remember if
They-
there was any
well,
cost?
they're all warranted.
Right,
They've all
but-
been warranted, so I don't know. I mean, what we saved by having them warranted.
Yeah, just to get a
Say.
ballpark for like what one unit costs.
I,
Okay.
I don't think they said.
Okay.
Actually, I think the invoices were just the
labor.
just the labor.
Yeah. Okay. Not a big deal. I was just curious if you happen to know off the top of your head.
And you know, I'll just say that. I mean, it would be painful to do a large project,
Oh, yeah.
especially having just done a fairly substantial project a couple of years ago. But the cost on the staff and the cost on the patrons
Yeah, the community's not getting to use
trust
the
in us.
building. Yeah.
would be well worth
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to.
putting it all out at one point. As I mentioned, you know, people sitting in there with the woolen hats on is not what we want. And so,
Yeah. I mean, I would hope that a large portion of whatever we have in there is salvageable, and if it's just the units aren't big enough,
Yep.
we replace them with bigger units.
Yep.
There's no ducting in the teen office, we add ducting, and like, you know, that's going to be some work to punch through walls or
Right,
whatever needs to happen
right.
there. But hopefully, it's not something where it's going to really shut down large portions of the library, or
no.
hopefully
no,
not
no,
really
no,
at all.
No.
But-
I don't foresee that. I think that it would. I think the work that would need to be done, says the novice, is exterior, because the
They're
units are primarily located on the roof.
Okay.
That's where the technicians are working on
Right,
whenever they
right.
come.
Okay.
So
How is the AC working in those same rooms? Are those okay? Do we,
you know,
would this be for both, really?
it would be,
Okay.
and I know the AC wasn't great in the summer. I had just arrived, so I didn't have much to
Okay,
compare it
okay,
to. But I think that it is not as much of a concern, but a bit of a concern as well.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else we could be doing for you, Tom, to help you get through this, or are we just
Yeah.
waiting for that meeting right now?
I think waiting for the meeting is really the next step.
Okay.
So, and I'll just say that, you know, the reason I was suggesting that Doug be there was, one, because he was the chair, but also because he was so involved with the
The building
building
project.
project.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm just not familiar with,
Oh, yeah, that's a
others-
great idea.
I imagine you weren't.
I was not.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it would be beneficial to us to have somebody there who could say, we did check the BPUs and have an idea of what it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I think having somebody there who has institutional knowledge in that respect would be beneficial.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thanks for your work with that.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything further on HVAC or the teen office for now?
Please no.
The other thing for I guess teen, maybe not the teen office, but and I know this has been on our punch list for a very long time, but the exterior door in the teen room, now that we have the melting,
Right.
they have to have, those, the sand, snake things
Yes.
in the
Yes.
dehumidifier
Yep.
there. So I think we know that there's, that the bottom of the door is not working right. So is that on, I guess,
We'll-
I know it's on our punch
We'll
list.
get to that. Why don't we get to that during the
walk around?
walkabout,
Sure,
because
okay.
that's
Okay,
that's
Okay.
yeah, just a spoiler. Chris and I did the walkabout, and
sorry.
there are a lot of little things we just kind of like rediscovered and stuff like that. Some of which, or most of which, we let Kim know about, and they're on the punch list. So I don't think there's anything like majorly new, but that is something like flooding potential is something we definitely want to discuss, and so we can do
that's
that.
fair.
Yeah, that'll be at the end of ongoing business essentially. Okay. Anything further on HVAC or teen office? Okay. Let's move on to Grafton celebrates the holidays.
So this is something that was brought up at a previous meeting, and so I just want to get some sort of finalization on this. As a refresher, during Grafton Celebrates the Holidays, some staff were working at that. We had a great turnout. It was a wonderful day. A little while after, the staff who had worked realized that they hadn't been paid what they had anticipated. There was a misunderstanding as to what they were going to be receiving as payment for having worked that day. And so they were requesting that they be compensated for that. So we did some looking into it with the town, and it's unable to be compensated by payroll because the rates are pretty strict as to what the town is allowed to do. So it had been proposed that if the trustees were willing to do a one-time payment for the staff who work there to compensate them for the extra hours that they had thought they were going to get. They thought it was going to be a time and a half. It was basically everybody worked 5 hours, and they thought it was going to be a time and a half, which would mean that each person was going to be receiving an extra 2.5 hours of payment. But it turned out that that was not the case. So it came up at a previous trustee meeting. Perhaps perhaps you could make up that difference. And
But we weren't sure how to accomplish that. So.
right. There were some particulars that needed to be worked out. And so primarily as to whether doing this would be a one-time thing, and if there was a chance that it would set a precedent for future. So we worked with the union on this issue. When I say we, I'm saying that the union representatives from the library, as well as the assistant town administrator and myself, and went through with our legal department, and have come to an agreement that it would be just a one-time thing. So it would not set a precedent for next year, and we will figure that one out as we approach it.
Yep.
So,
And the agreement is in the meeting packet, I guess, right?
Yeah,
That states
okay,
those
did you
things.
include that in
all
there?
right.
So
She did.
Doug sent it.
or Doug sent it? Okay.
Somebody sent it was like over 500, I think. Wasn't,
Just over
Yeah, it
520
wasn't
something.
much.
Is
Yeah.
it this? Was this included?
Oh, the amount, or
I thought that was the amount, I think.
It was about, and I think it was like a one-page
Yeah.
agreement document.
There's the side letter of agreement.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it seems like we need to approve this one-time payment. So I'll accept a motion regarding this. If anyone has the
I make a motion to make a one-time payment to compensate our library staff who participated in Grafton Celebrates the Holidays in December 2024.
Do I hear a second?
I second that
Okay.
motion.
Any further discussion on the matter?
My thought is not about this one, but maybe we should think about what to do for the future. It doesn't seem to me to be that, I think that's something we could do in the going forward. I think that it's a very important event and we had a lot of exposure and went really well. So I think it's something we should consider as a board, and whenever you want to discuss that, then let's do it.
Yeah, I think we should do it in advance so that the staff are able to plan. And I mean, they did do just a wonderful job. They were so very enthusiastic, and it was, and they gave up their Sunday, to do it too. So, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Yeah, I agree that that's definitely something we should revisit and try and figure out.
Should we do that for like next month, or?
Yeah, why don't we get that on the agenda for next month, and that way it's done and
Yeah.
out of the way. We're not rushing to get it done at the end of the year.
That's a good idea.
Just off the top of my head, or off the top of our heads, I don't think we can spend state aid money on like wages, right? Isn't that one of the
I'm
limitations?
not sure.
Okay, I feel like that's one of the limitations of state aid. So
We could do it out of we have other funds.
okay, yeah, that's kind of what
So
I
we
was
have
getting
other,
at.
we have a lot of, a lot of different accounts.
Okay.
Gift accounts.
Yeah. All right.
One other, I want, do we have any other events throughout the year that have kind of like similar extra, I haven't been around long enough to know.
Not really, because like when the Friends do the used book sales, those are usually like Friday. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Sometimes we do have Sunday. Yeah, we do have a couple hours on Sunday, but I don't know. I don't know why that didn't come up as an issue.
Well, we
for-
haven't, when do we do the egg hunt? Isn't that a Saturday?
It's
It's
a
a
Saturday.
Saturday,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
That's
And it's-
coming up.
Yeah.
Is that finished by 2?
Oh, yes, because we
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
hunt at
okay.
10 and 1 and
Okay,
11.
so-
Yeah, it's,
okay.
it's definitely done by 2. But the book sale, we did do like 2 hours, I think. But I think it's just like somebody letting us in. I don't think there's really staff there.
I
It's
think,
just,
I think Tom did it.
Yeah.
Tom did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did
okay.
that. So.
yeah.
I just didn't know if it needed to be a larger discussion outside of just the Grafton at the holidays.
Yeah, that's a
But
good
it,
point.
but it
yeah.
doesn't sound like at least there's a lot of events that would require that potentially.
So there are a couple of big events, and
Okay.
I'm learning them, because my first calendar going through. So it seems that the Halloween one is a big event. The Grafton Celebrates Holidays, the Egg Hunt are primarily the big ones, and the only one that takes place on a day that we're not regularly open during regular hours is the Celebrates Holidays.
Okay.
And that being a Sunday did require people to come in.
Yep.
At a time when they're not usually at all. For the others, it does require some additional staffing, but we were able to do that through just bringing other additional people in to cover.
All right.
I mean, for the egg hunt, we're planning on having a lot of craft activities in the community room. It'll be warmer by
That can
then,
help.
so we'll be okay. So, we'll just be bringing in extra staff on a day that we're already open. So it's a different situation.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I guess we'll just kind of, at least for now, for the next meeting, we'll stick to Grafton Celebrates the Holidays and what we want to do for the 2025 event. Okay. So any further discussion on the motion on the table?
No.
Hearing none. All in favor?
I,
Aye. All right. Motion made and passed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, thank you for your work to, to find a solution to allow us to do it.
It's an important event and it's important stuff.
All right.
If I could just ask, do you know which account this would be coming from, or is that for further discussion? Because I think I'll need to work with the town to figure out how the payment would be made.
So
If we could look, I don't think it's that hard to figure out. I mean, one of us, Doug knows those accounts better, but we just have to know.
it does say the town, contingent upon approval by a majority vote of the Board of Library Trustees, agrees to provide a one-time payment. So I don't know if this is, actually, I guess it's not clear to me now whether or not this is something we're paying kind of out of our accounts, or if the town is handling.
No, we're
I
doing.
think we're
The
paying.
town
We're
is
doing-
really
ours?
handling the distribution of
They
the
do the
payment, but it'll be
distribution.
coming
They'll
from a
take it out of
library
the
account.
accounts.
Okay. Um.
If you have a list of the accounts, I could help you with that. Or
Yeah.
Doug knows them pretty
Not
well.
at the top of my head, I don't. But
No, I know you
Yeah,
don't.
I know.
But I know Doug knows them.
Yeah.
Do you want one of us to, if you can provide us a list,
Is some
one of us can call you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you
That's
want me
fine.
just to call you, and if you give me we can go over it together. I don't think
sounds
it's like what 5:25 or something, so it'll
Okay.
be okay.
Okay.
If you have any.
I will double check with Doug too, because there's one or two accounts that have to be used for specific,
Right.
which I think I know them for specific building.
Okay.
But I'll talk to Doug
Okay,
and I'll
great.
find out.
Great. Just give me a call.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
All right. So Dana will handle which account with Tom and or Doug, and then maybe just let us know when that's all set.
Okay, I'll just send you an email.
Yeah. All right. Any further discussion on Grafton Celebrates the Holidays? Okay. Now we'll move on to the annual report submitted to the town clerk by Doug. Let me just see. Let me pull that up. Was this one also included in the meeting packet? I think
No,
it was.
Doug sent
or
it
no, this was
separately.
also separate. Okay.
yep. This is separately with I think the letter.
Okay.
Okay.
Or the letter.
Should I read this out loud? Or I'm not sure.
I don't think we need to.
When did he send
Okay.
it to us?
Within the last couple days.
Yeah.
It looks like it's already been submitted.
Yeah,
It has been.
I think so. So, I guess I'll just review it real quick. It's basically just a summary of the different activities that the board did over the past year.
Oh, okay. I did get that. Okay, yeah, I did look at it.
Yeah, and kind of some of our accomplishments and membership changes and things like that. So I don't know if there's anything else we need to do regarding that then. If it was already submitted, then I think we're all set. Okay. Worst case scenario, we'll meet back next month and figure out if there was something we need to actually cover there. All right, Friends update, Carrie.
Yes, so the Friends are preparing for the annual spring egg hunt, which will be held on Saturday, April 12th. There will be 2 hunts, one at 10, one at 11, and possibly an additional one, more on that to follow. There's a planning meeting this Saturday at the library at 11 a.m. With our children's librarian, manager of our children's librarian, Sarah Bannister. Our state representative, David Meridian, is once again going to be our MC. He always does a lovely job. So we're, things are coming together, and, we have a lot of support from the community, a lot of the local grocery stores, and do contribute to the event. So we're very much looking forward to that. Also, I would like to thank Kim for doing research on the replacement table. So Kim provided some options, which I'm going to present to the Friends and get some input from them. And then we're planning to come back next month, with or a request to the full board with regards to replace with the table. But we wanted to kind of see what made sense, from their point of view before we presented that to the full board.
Great.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the update, Carrie.
You're welcome.
And thank you for the Friends for running that head count every year. Okay. Moving on. The walkabout. So, yeah, and I did just confirm that Doug's email did say he had already submitted the report to the town clerk. So, I don't think we really need to take any further action there. All right, I'm gonna try and pull up the walkabout photos here. So, again, some of these are kind of new, I guess, or maybe haven't been discussed in a long time. I don't think there was anything that major that we didn't know about, but definitely want to discuss some of these elements. So this is just a picture. Chris and I took a lot of these pictures. This right here shows 58 degrees at the main librarian's desk. It was not 58 degrees there though. It was probably close to 70. I was standing right there and I was like, it feels perfectly warm at that. So that's what I was kind of saying of things are pretty wacky with at least what's being reported on those.
Wow.
Cindy, did you have something to say or? Okay. I just want to make sure. So that area seemed fine, at least temperature wise. Again, it was reporting 58 degrees. There were other areas of the library that for sure were cold. So I'm not saying that the temperature isn't an issue. I'm just saying it seems all over the place.
Yeah.
This is something I think we did not tell you about, or I didn't tell you about, Kim. There's just this little piece hanging down on one of the AC units in the larger study room. I don't think it's a major issue. It probably just needs to be like pushed back up into there.
There are a few of those actually.
Yeah.
Oh
Not
yeah.
there?
the only one.
Okay. Do you happen to know why that is? Okay.
Gravity.
I don't know. Okay.
Who
So
would take care of that? Oh, I guess that
Probably-
was in Kim's list, but maybe the main.
this is probably something the custodian could
Yeah,
at
they
least
could do
Maintenance
that.
can handle.
take a look
That's
at
good.
and see just what's
That's good.
if it's something you just push back up there. This is the window in the large print reading room overlooking the parking lot. We don't think it's really like kind of a structural issue, but there's some gaps forming around the perimeter of it, probably just from settling of the building over the years and the temperature changes and things like that. So it probably really just needs to be touched up more than worried about. We didn't feel any cold air or anything coming in, so it's more just cosmetic. Yeah, so this is what the back walkway looks like right now. I will preface this with my driveway has looked like this for the past week or two. So I don't think this in particular is super unusual. Nobody should really be going back there this time of year. But it is all ice. But I think our more important concern about it is, I guess it could be salted and sanded and cleared out a bit better, but I think we're more just concerned about the melt, right? When it melts in the spring, that water's going to go down the path and to the right of where the camera is, which is the entrance to the children's room, the external one. So at least that's what we speculate, because that's what happened in the past. So Chris and I were discussing this a bit.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think we took any pictures on the opposite side of the building where the teen room was, and they're also getting water consistently coming in under there.
Yeah.
That one is a consistent issue. It doesn't seem to the point, at least what we've experienced so far, is it's not like it comes in and floods the entire room like what happened with the children's room. But I mean, we were just kind of spitballing some ideas, and it's like, well, we have the existing drainage under both sides that on the teen room side, the gutters feed into the drain pipes, and then that goes out, behind the parking lot kind of. On this side, there's the two drains in the mulch area there that were also, we had kind of reinforced with stones so that the mulch hopefully doesn't clog it as much. But I'm wondering if we need to kind of take a more drastic approach kind of and like put in more drains on this side, and put in actual drains on the teen room side, because there are no actual drains on the teen room side. All the gutters go into those pipes. So if any water, comes over the side of the gutter, kind of a separate issue.
Yeah.
But even without the gutter issue, any water over there doesn't really seem to have any good place to go. So, yeah.
I got a question. I mean, this might be crazy, but does it make any sense to try to do some snow removal before it melts and get rid of it another way?
That's a great idea.
Because that might help, especially because that looks like that's maybe, I don't know, a few inches there, maybe.
Yeah, it's a
5 or
few
6
inches probably, and
That,
it's everything that's there, right? Everything you can see, like especially on the hill,
Yeah.
on that left side over here, right?
it's just.
That's all going to come down, and it's all going to funnel down this pathway into the same
That's,
place, So
I wonder how we could do that. Could we pay for someone to do that? To come in like with a little machine or something? I wonder if one of these companies that snowplows would do that. Not with a snowplow, but
yeah, I mean, I'd be a little concerned about a machine kind of
maybe just to come and shovel it out.
tearing things up, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe it is worth,
Because now it's wet, right? So now you actually can move it. The snow's beginning to melt.
But I
so
think it's
Yeah.
gonna get cold again too. Like
when's it
it's
getting
been-
cold again?
I thought this into this week, but let me check.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe we can hire someone just to shovel it all out. I mean, it might be a thought.
Yeah, I think that's actually,
We can't do it, can we, ourselves? I guess we could.
I mean, maybe at the very least we could
Pictures were taken
shovel out the,
Wednesday, so like a week ago today.
a week ago.
yeah.
We can't.
Do you know if a lot of this has melted already?
I mean, today definitely was, they're smelting today,
Yeah,
for sure.
yesterday and today.
I didn't look on that side when I was there today.
Do you have something to add?
I just wanted to
Yeah.
to throw out that
Yeah.
this was a week ago.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks a lot different
Okay.
Oh, it does.
already. Yes.
Okay.
Less
So
snow?
I can check on that and see, but I mean,
I mean, I
I
would,
was driving
if I'm
tonight, it looked like
a
it
couple of
rained
us could just get
in town.
shovels and we'd have to take it across the parking lot and put it somewhere.
Yeah, because I think there's rain.
You could bring a wheelbarrow and just fill up the wheelbarrow.
But then where are we allowed to dump it? Because there's,
I mean, you could dump it into where it drains out to.
Yeah, we can do that. Obviously not in
But-
not in the wetlands,
right, yeah.
which we would never do.
Yeah.
There's signs that say "Do not go there," so we would never do that.
But I guess the other thing though is, and you started to talk about this, and we said we'll wait till the walkabout. But the teen door, we know there's an issue with that teen door.
Yeah.
Like that teen door needs to get fixed. And then we know on the children's side that the doors that were installed were supposed to be, good enough for the building, but they weren't. So
So I'm not sure about that. I think you're partially correct from what I remember, in that the teen room door is like the little thing
there's a
that drops
bottom-
down is
yeah.
like rusted out or whatever. So that,
Yeah.
I thought maybe that had been fixed, but
No,
maybe I'm
it's
misremembering
No,
that.
it's never.
been fixed.
Okay.
It is an ongoing investigation.
Okay.
The town is actually looking into that one.
Okay.
So the town administrator's office is
Maybe if you could follow up. Have we heard anything recently about that or?
not recently, but I'll
Okay.
be at a meeting.
it's
with
been a
them
very
tomorrow.
long time.
Okay.
Is there a lot of snow around that area too, as well?
Fair amount.
So that's gonna melt. So that could come into the teen room.
Yeah, but so I think the crux of the issue here, and this is something that someone else had said before, I think, and not, this isn't me just saying it, in that the exterior doors aren't designed to hold back standing water, so I don't know if there is anything we can do to kind of fix the doors, and we need to kind of address the the actual root cause of the problem, which is flooding outside, which ends up being flooding inside. So, so I guess, Tom, if are you going to be in the library tomorrow morning?
I'm not, because I'll be here because I have a department head meeting for
Okay.
town department heads, and then I have a library check-in once a month meeting. So I will be at the municipal center until about noon.
Okay, because I think it's raining and snowing tomorrow.
When does
Actually,
that
tomorrow morning. So, I mean, I'll head over to the library tonight and just take a look and see what it looks like. Because I'm kind of worried that like if a lot of it didn't melt and there's still a lot there with the rain, snow/rain we're getting tomorrow morning. I mean, I don't know that we're supposed to get a lot, but
Do you have a shovel in your car?
no, I mean,
I mean, it wouldn't really
Yeah.
take that much. I'd help do it. I mean,
I'll swing by tonight and just see what things look like. But like if a lot of it melted, I mean,
A lot of it has.
Tomorrow says rain. It doesn't. It says tomorrow the high is 49 and the low is 33, and
Okay.
it's an 85% chance of rain.
so it's rain and the snow's going to be melting. But
okay.
if some of this is kind of slow melted over the last 2 days, then maybe it's not as big an issue.
We've had substantial melting
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
parking lot.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
But as far as we know, no flooding on that side, I guess.
As far as we know.
And
Okay.
They didn't mention
So-
no. That it was so it's just the ceiling tiles near the second floor main office, and then the teen near the teen.
So right above this.
Yes, and I have
Yes.
pictures actually.
So
Well,
there,
actually, Kim, you took
There's
some
some
too.
on
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
just to be clear, it is new. New stains on the ceiling.
So in that picture,
Yep.
off to the right, you see a book cart.
Yep.
Yes.
Just beyond there, on the ceiling, on Monday, we had coming down from two tiles, a pretty substantial water coming down,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
then that stopped leaking, and then yesterday we had another leak, which was sort of where you were taking that picture, behind you in the stacks. There was a leak coming down. Oh,
Is that it? This is probably from the picture from Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's the one from yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's where it was
Is there another
coming down from one of the tiles there, which leaked for a while and then did stop.
Okay.
I went up to the roof to take a look. Just I don't know why, but I did. Like what I was going to see and fix.
Yeah.
And there was a considerable amount of snow, heavy wet snow on the roof, which
Okay.
concerned me.
Yeah.
That's
Because
flat, right?
because it's a flat roof. Yeah, a flat roof with a lot of heavy snow on it is not a good thing. So that has been reported to the town administrator, and yeah, we're going to be talking about that tomorrow.
Okay.
And the leakage. You know, the trouble with the leaking is where it's leaking in the building is not necessarily where the problem is. Right? So it's not like, oh, let's just go directly up here
Right,
Yeah.
right,
and clear it out.
right.
It could be just finding entrance
Yeah.
and finding a seam, a weak spot, and
Yeah.
that's
And
where
then
it's gonna
going
be.
along some
Yeah.
beam and then, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that may need to be looked into further.
Okay. But if it's on the town's,
Yep.
radar, then
On their
hopefully they can
Yep.
kick off something to do with that. Okay. So we'll keep going here. This one has been an issue for a long time. I believe it's mostly cosmetic. It could be another factor contributing to the temperatures in the historic reading room potentially.
What is it?
It's hard to tell, but
What is
the
it?
Oh,
so this is on the Upton Street side, the old part of the building, that arch at the top, there's some panes of glass that are either broken or missing there. I think kind of that center area. there is essentially like a wood panel. You can see where the paint has been kind of starting to fall off a little bit because it's getting weathered because it's exposed to the elements. So that's probably something we should get taken a look at in the spring. Personally, I wouldn't put this super high on the priority list, but definitely something we want to take care of.
Is
you
it
know, in
cracked?
the spring.
Is that what you're showing?
The glass. So I don't know if you can
It looks
tell.
crinkled. Is that rain or it's just,
Let me see if I can.
wow, okay.
Is that wood
I'll go
paneling?
look at it.
The glass is missing, so in
The
that
glass is
quarter
missing?
circle,
Right.
Sorry.
Somebody put paneling there?
it looks like someone had put paneling on the interior side of the window,
Okay.
potentially to, I don't know, protect it or something. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure what the reasoning was, but it's just on that top portion of the window.
I would say that needs to be repaired soon, not later.
It's been like that for a long time. I did bring this up on a walkabout like over a year ago, probably. So I don't think it's a critical issue, but definitely something we want to look at. It's basically the outer ring of the arch has glass. It's hard to see on these TVs,
Yeah, it's
but
hard,
the
okay.
inner ring, the inner two rings, I guess,
Yeah.
those don't have glass. So again, there's like,
Oh
I
my
think we took a
God.
picture on the inside later here, so you'll see kind of what it looks like from the inside.
Okay.
But yeah. So this is another one of those. Okay, so this is one of the leak pictures from what we already talked about. Is this where the water was dripping down? Okay. And this is something this was from a long time ago as well with the walkabout. This blue paint, I think it just didn't get the coverage it needed. So this is,
Doesn't
when
really match.
once we get through a lot of the other ones, or if you need an easy win, get someone to throw another coat of the blue paint on the wall. This one, who submitted this one? Was this from you, Chris, or you
No,
from
no,
Kim?
Saw it when I took a
Okay.
picture of the, I just spotted that.
I've never noticed.
What
that.
is
I Chris and I walked
That's
right through here, and
historic
I didn't
reading
notice
room.
that.
But what is that?
It's the banister from the historic reading room walking into the new part of the building. It's just the middle,
Somebody spat.
Looks like it got patched, but
Yes.
not painted.
I
So
wonder when that happened. That looks terrible.
I don't know.
Maybe when they were doing like the work and like maybe it got like maybe somebody
somebody
scraped it or
bumped it
something.
or something.
But yeah, I don't remember seeing that before.
it's on the inside, so it's not like, it doesn't really stand out, but I just happened.
Yeah, but when you
Yeah.
see it, you
Right.
see it. Yeah.
right.
Okay.
The light bulbs.
The light bulbs. Yep.
Yep.
So there's one of them. One of the light bulbs was out. One of them was missing, and so this is what it looks like on the interior of that archway. So there is that wood arch there. So I think that is kind of protecting us from the elements a bit, but maybe it is kind of like an issue where we've lost the kind of the double storm window nature of the thing.
Oh, so
If
maybe that's a storm window? I mean to interrupt you.
no, yeah, in a way, it might be functioning sort of as a storm window. We have the wood panel and then we have the glass on the outside. But now that the glass is broken, we don't kind of have that insulating
Do you
property
think
of
that wood panel was put there so they didn't have to replace the glass?
I
don't
I don't
know.
think so.
that
I
looks historic. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
Pretty
beautiful.
detailed on the inside,
Yeah.
so.
I feel like that's
Okay.
been there, but
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need new storm windows then. Cost a fortune.
Then that
What-
has to be
Painted
the
glass.
historical.
what's that?
It's just a painted glass, I believe.
Oh, just
Yeah.
a glass. Okay.
Yeah, I think the glass panes just need to be replaced.
All right.
I mean,
Okay. All right.
I have no idea who does kind of
We'd have to.
custom panes of glass like that, but
Yeah, and historic. You make sure that there's no.
yeah. There is some paint peeling on the edge of that part too. So I guess overall it just needs to be looked at. Again, I know you got a lot on your plate, Tom. So
It's on the punch list.
yeah, it's on the punch list. It doesn't look great, but it's
Yeah.
probably not a huge priority. So that's the leak in the main stacks
Name
area.
3 of the
I'm
punch
sorry. We need a facility manager handbook,
Yeah,
right? We need another person. This is
So again, this was another one. I think this was probably already on the punch list. Maybe it's just a missing piece of trim. I think we talked about it a couple times ago, a couple meetings ago. I think that piece of trim is floating around somewhere, maybe in the staff room. I think I heard. So that could be as simple as construction adhesive and some nails. I don't know.
Where the staff room would that be?
It
I
was there
feel-
for a while.
I feel like I have seen a piece of wood
Yep,
like that. Yeah.
that's
And
That was,
probably it.
that was
Went to-
refinished.
Okay.
Okay.
With the new building, they refinished all of that wood. That's
Oh.
right. Is that in the historical?
No, this is overlooking the children's theater.
Oh,
So
okay.
if
Okay.
we
it's
go
in
back
Okay. Okay.
here, it's
Okay.
kind of off to the right from
Okay.
where we're
Okay.
looking at this picture. Okay.
Oh God.
I figured I'd just throw in
Beautiful.
Tom's nice pictures from today.
Oh, we had beautiful pictures. They were gorgeous.
Nothing is wrong in
I'm
this
gonna use
photo.
that
So as far as we know, they're just some nice pictures
I love that one.
of the library. Yeah.
It's very
Thank you, Tom. I'm gonna use them. That's nice too.
Yeah, great.
It's majestic.
beautiful.
It's hard to take a bad picture of that building.
Yeah.
So.
I will point out, so just because
know.
I will, just because we're on this picture, I'll just acknowledge, like, we didn't take pictures of the teen room outer door, which is down here, but, you know, Chris and I definitely saw the evidence of the mulch getting splashed up from, again, seemingly the gutters overflowing or leaking or both. So kind of that whole thing needs to be looked at.
John?
Yeah.
There is a little video of a heavy rainfall that was captured on that thumb drive. If you
Oh, I didn't send that.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, and the water was bursting out of the
We
pipe.
probably,
You don't want
Could we?
yeah,
s-
I don't think we need to, but
Okay.
it was bursting out of where?
One of the pipes, Cindy, you know, near the outdoor book.
Could you send it
return.
to
The-
us?
I don't know. I can. I think I can. Yeah.
Coming out of the kind of the ground
No.
from the
I
top,
can send it. If it's on here, I can
It's
send it.
connected
Okay.
to
the gutter.
I didn't realize. So
Okay.
what date was
Yeah.
that one taken? Because I sent
Um,
the ones that were dated today
It
and
was
yesterday.
towards the bottom,
Towards the bottom. Okay.
and it actually showed that door, that teen room door, both on the inside with the sandbags. And
Yeah, I mean, it's not a new issue. I don't think we need to
No, we
pull it
don't
up.
have
I
to.
think,
If we just send it, I'd like to see it.
I will.
Not
Okay,
right
so
now.
it's
but-
it was the sorry, how do you describe that? It was Kim's video of
Drain pipe.
yeah, gutter drain issue on the teen room side.
better dream
So I guess
two.
at the very least, maybe we need to check have the gutters up top checked, but then, you know, Chris and I were talking, and maybe the downspout itself is clogged, or maybe kind of worst case scenario is the underground stuff is kind of clogged, and maybe that would need to be, you know, whatever the snake thing is with the camera on the end to just make sure that's clear. But what we were talking about is maybe, again, there's no actual, we have those, you can see kind of these three downspouts, and I think there's a fourth one in the corner to the right. Those all go into pipes directly into the ground, I think under the parking lot and out into the
Okay, good.
little pond thing.
Okay.
But there's no drains there like we have on the opposite side. So maybe it's a couple things. Maybe we need more gutters going into the ground. Maybe we need additional drains in case there is kind of like overflow at all. I almost feel like we need to kind of over-re-engineer the whole system so that we just don't have to worry about it ever again. And I'll point out, as I pointed out before, the water on that kind of backside of the historic side of the building, half of that goes to these drains over here. So a lot of that water is coming this way as well. So just to kind of point that out. Sorry, I know I said there's nothing wrong. Still a nice picture. Chris, I think you took this one.
There was just, this is on there, but there was just some of the upholstery and things like that.
Yeah, the chairs are getting worn a bit. So is this, I don't know if this is related. Carrie, you had mentioned that there was a table from the Friends that got damaged. Maybe
Well, it's gone. Like
Or
it's
it's
just
gone.
gone. Totally, it's just gone. Yeah.
it's left the building. So maybe this is just something as well where, you know, we can get a quote if that's how we want to deal with it. We can get a quote for fixing these, or replacing them, or whatever that is.
I do actually have a quote for that chair.
Oh,
You do?
Oh, great.
Do you happen to have the amount, just out of curiosity?
I just can't believe this is the price for this chair, but,
Is this for a new one?
yes.
Couldn't get it.
$3,764.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, could we get it repaired?
I wonder if we could certainly.
I mean, they sell lawn furniture at Stop and Shop, probably.
No, why couldn't we get similar fabric or something? We might even be able to find that same fabric and have it reupholstered. It might cost you almost the same, but probably not as much.
I mean, if the chair is $3,000,
So this is the MHEC.
I don't know what,
With the discount,
There is
okay.
a
you
there
know,
is a discount.
library furniture normally costs, but
Yeah,
maybe
that
we
costs.
could get something more
There is a discount.
cost effective. What's
We
that?
can't really do
There
that.
is a discount.
There's a discount.
Yes, minus 46%, bringing it down to
46?
$2,032.56.
What's the
The
discount?
grand total is 2,500 though.
Yes, right, it's still a lot.
It's still a lot of money.
What was the discount for?
MHEC.
Was it just
Oh,
for being
yeah.
like a repeat customer or something like that?
For being a member. Right.
Is that isn't that, that has something to do with,
Consortium.
I can't think of
I
it.
don't remember what it. I don't remember. What
I
it
do
stands
know what
for,
that
yeah.
Okay.
Is it educational consortium?
Right.
It might be, yeah.
Okay. That seems like a lot for a chair for me,
The
but
furnitures are very expensive. The downstairs, when we replaced the one desk down there was 7,000. It was like a custom made. It's that chair right there.
Commercial
Yeah.
furniture.
It has to
Yeah.
fit in with the rest, right?
I mean, it does get a lot more wear and tear than
It
something
probably
like
does.
in our homes. But
Yeah.
it does. It's definitely a sticker shock.
So is it like it's just like a rip? It's
It-
not like two pieces coming together.
Yeah, I think
It's
we,
a
I think
seam.
we can sew it.
it's a seam there.
Oh, yeah.
I have a sewing kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can,
Oh, I
we can
see.
handle that.
I mean, it
Slap some duct tape on it.
it looks like it's getting worn because I mean it's right on the corner.
Yeah.
It's at a seam.
Maybe get a quote, for repair. Like,
Yeah.
But that's not the only chair.
Yeah.
There's furniture in the young adult room, also upstairs in the large print room. I'm noticing things.
Is that in
Okay.
the large print room, that one?
This one's in the teen room.
Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, okay. I'm
maybe
sorry.
we need to invest in like those plastic covers, like grandmas used to have.
It's only a couple
Cindy's not
years. I mean, how,
Oh, and in the children, yeah. There's
Okay.
one.
So, I guess I'll
I
just
think there's
say, I
another
mean,
category for that.
what's that?
That's another category: furniture repair or replacement.
Yeah. I guess what I'm thinking is that we kind of maybe if you can gather some more information about all of the furniture that needs repair
Yeah, I
and
guess-
kind of like what our options are. Because if you're saying the one chair is 3,000 to replace, and we're talking about the children's room and the historic reading room, if that's
We're
5 to
probably
6
talking about
pieces,
15 to
that's
20, I bet.
yeah, that's a lot of money. Which, I mean, the children's room, I would expect things like that to get worn out pretty quickly. That means they're getting used, so that's good.
Yeah.
But let's just make sure that they're not wearing out prematurely.
Well, what can we do?
Well, I mean, like you said, if it's something where it's like,
Is there a warranty on
Could be
any of that
warranted. I
stuff?
was just thinking that as well.
Yeah, do we have a warranty on
Okay.
that?
Could be warranties on these.
There might be. And maybe the furniture manufacturer could help us. Maybe they could
Yeah.
help repair it.
yeah, I'd say let's see if we can get them repaired because I know one of these chairs had fallen apart at some point, but I think it was repaired or replaced or something. But maybe it can just be reupholstered versus have the whole thing.
Yeah. It's still going to cost a bit to reupholster it, but it's
Yeah.
new, so maybe that would be less expensive. It's not like it's an antique.
Okay. All
Was that quote from the manufacturer?
It was from Tucker Interiors, and they are the ones that had provided all this furniture. And
Okay.
from my understanding, none of this is under warranty anymore.
Oh, okay.
Okay. maybe we could find quotes from someplace to get them repaired.
Okay.
I'm not, yeah,
I might be able to help with that.
okay.
There's some local people. Also, I wonder if you talk to them, we try to get some kind of deal because we might have like 10 new. We might need 5 to 7 new pieces of furniture.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on. So I think that was the same picture from before. This is just showing
That's
The,
teens.
Teen room.
The
teen
door
room,
in
just to the right of that previous picture, with the fan that they have. If the floor is wet, they turn on the fan, is my understanding, when they come in, and that's how we're having to deal with the water. So
and
this is the window in the teen room office, and so Chris and I were able to kind of close it mostly, but we didn't want to mess with it too much, but we were able to kind of get it mostly closed, and then I guess the custodian came in and latched it, so that's good. We don't have to worry about that. And like we said, that is a storm window behind it. So again, not the source of the problem, as far as we know. This is just another picture of that arch.
And I think in this one of the things that you were talking about was the gap between
Yeah,
the wood.
yeah. So, I mean, it could be that there is air coming in through there. Maybe that's something we could get looked at as part of the HVAC investigation, in case it is a problem. Yeah, there's another one. I think this is on the opposite side. This is on the back side of the building versus the Upton Street side. Oh, actually, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Just remembering now.
Yeah.
So this picture is on the back side of the building. That one, as far as we could tell, the window panes were all intact. So probably not an urgent issue. But this one is the one facing one of the ones facing the common. But yeah, maybe we just need to get them all looked at and make sure that they are all, I don't know, doing what they're supposed to do, whatever that is, if it's meant to be some sort of protection from the elements or insulation or whatever that is. Okay. That's it for the walkabout pictures. Any further questions? For now, the majority of these are on the punch list already. So, you know,
I just wanted to mention again the flooring in the teen gaming room. I did touch base with Debbie today, and she does have it on her to-do list to come up with that I guess proposal for that. So I know that's on the punch list as well. So.
And is this replacement? Is that what the?
Is she doing that? I thought we were going to take care of.
so
She's giving
Debbie,
you a quote now.
I believe Debbie was going to get us quotes for
Okay.
replacing the floor, and then we were going to essentially.
Yeah, we would have to fund.
Does she have
Yeah.
time to do that?
She didn't say
Okay.
she is busy, but
I mean-
she seemed willing to do that.
Okay.
I'll leave that up to Tom, but yeah,
Yeah.
She does have the flooring picked out. She showed me a sample of that.
So we just need to know how much it costs.
yeah.
how much
So
to
we
install.
need like how much like the
labor.
flooring
It's-
and the installation,
Yeah.
and so that we can understand the
happen.
full picture.
Right, I have a note here for that.
So the flooring is there are two elements, which is, as you were indicating, the flooring and then the installation.
Right.
We're going to need to figure out about getting a crew in to do
Yeah.
that. So,
Because that's a very popular room. I was there today. It
Very
was
popular.
packed with kids.
yep.
That's great.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, this isn't even that busy."
We should
today."
be
Like,
able to do
wow,
that. But
it's great.
there's got to be flooring companies that would do that.
Did she have a quote for everything,
No,
or
that she doesn't.
no? Okay.
She has the sample, but I see this note from Doug that someone needs to get a quote for materials and installation so we
Yeah.
know the total project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she had provided with us with some information 6 months ago or something like that at this point. But there was some confusion about the numbers and like what the total cost was going to be, which is really, we're looking for, I think, material cost, installation cost, and that sort of stuff, and the whole,
Whole
and the total.
project cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I hear a lot of good things about the teen room and how some days it's pretty packed in there.
Most days.
Yeah, most.
She's had
days.
like 30 people in there at once.
Okay. Anything else to discuss under the umbrella of the walkabout? Okay. Yeah, a lot of things on the punch list, but hopefully we can keep checking them off. All right, new business. So Aaron's not here. He was going to talk about the strategic plan.
So I can just give a little bit about that. So
Great.
Erin and I did meet with the consultant virtually. She talked about some fabulous ideas with regards to the strategic plan, and also gave us kind of like a proposal. She said that the proposal can be adjusted. So I think it's so it's a fair sized investment. We do need to do the strategic plan, but we have to, I think, we really need to, maybe on the next meeting or the meeting after, really need to have the whole board kind of look at what the proposal was, which Aaron shared, I believe, with everybody. And just decide what we want to do with regards to creating the new plan
Okay.
and budget.
Is this something we can defer till next month when Aaron is here also to
Oh,
talk
definitely.
about? Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing that we're asking to be approved at this point, so it was
Okay.
kind of like gathering some information.
All right. And is that the email Aaron had sent out
Yeah,
already? Okay.
yeah, so if everybody could, before next meeting, read through, and then we can kind of just discuss what it is that we want to do, because it was, there's a little bit of sticker shock when we.
When's the timetable for that? Do we know?
Well, so as you know, we haven't done one for quite some time, so we want to do it, but we don't have anything that we need it per se. Like, it's not like we're applying for like another
Oh, I thought we had
renovation
to
or
do it,
expansion.
though.
So there's a less urgency from that, but more of an urgency that we want to have a good plan. It's a good time for us to do it, but there's no like specific date that we have to.
Does the state
I
aid?
thought we were supposed to have it for a specific date, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, is this something that we need for
I thought we were
like
supposed to
state
have it
aid
done a
funding?
while ago and we didn't do it. I mean, to interrupt you.
Yeah. No. I think it's definitely overdue, but and I know we've been able to. I thought we've been able to kind of get like deferrals on this from. I thought it was
We
Okay.
have, yeah.
the MBLC,
But
right?
but if we needed to apply like for some kind of grant or something,
That's
I
when
think
it would
that
really-
be,
okay.
That's when it's really going to be a
We might
hindrance
have
not
to because
having
it's
it.
that costly. Okay.
Well,
Because we need to, yeah. So we need to find out the cost and then maybe apply for a grant.
It was a
Like
lot.
100,000.
No, it was a lot less. So yeah, it was like 30.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah,
All right.
so
30,000.
Okay. That's for her to.
but we
that's-
can adjust it. That's her and her team and doing so there's a lot to it. So I think we really need to read the details and then
Okay, I get it.
I mean, I think some of the stuff sounded wonderful that that she does. It's her approach is not just like a report, but it's something that we could really use and just kind of working with with all the parts of the library and coming up with a
Is that where we get outside? We get the public involved and they sit.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that update,
Yeah, you're
Carrie.
welcome.
So we'll plan to have everyone take a look at the proposal that was already sent out for next meeting, and then we can discuss it, hopefully with Aaron and the rest of the board. Library hours. So this was under Aaron as well. Was anyone able to speak to this specifically?
I do not.
Okay, we will defer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll defer and wait for Aaron then on that one. Director goals from Board of Library Trustees. So, this one's for me. So let me pull up my note here. Yeah, so actually, Chris, we had talked about this briefly. So I think I will, Doug did recommend, I think he was saying, if we had any edits and if we were good to review these at next week's meeting. And you did provide the edits, so I think we're good to review this, if we want.
Okay.
Okay. This is not formatted very well. Let me see if, did I have this here? Okay, we will look at the edit version if that's okay, Chris.
Yep.
Any objection to that? Okay, just because it's a little tough to read, but it's better formatted, I think, than the other version. So, yeah, so Doug and Chris and I had met and discussed what we wanted to kind of set up as the board's goals for you, Tom, as the director of the library. And so, so what we came up with was ownership being a key component of your goals, and being proactive about the responsibilities. So, creating your own goals and your own vision kind of for the library, and kind of taking the lead on that about kind of like what you want for the library, on top of, the other needs of the library. Also, interfacing with the staff a bit more, attending programs, and making sure to meet with, I believe we had something in here, down below, but attending programs for the departments, but then also meeting with other town departments as well to make sure that, you're fostering that relationship, and, they remember that we still exist and they can give us the support and everything that they need. Reviewing policies, so like or letter C there, I guess. Reviewing policies with staff and policy committee, which you are doing a lot of already. A lot of these I think you are working on already, so I don't need to call that out. But yeah, policy committee, which you are participating in. Yeah, increase and proactively communicate with the staff and the board. So sending us the monthly report in advance of the meetings and including us on staff update emails. And then the second portion here, so that was kind of all under proactively, doing your duties as a director. The second portion here is about building and growing relationships with the staff and promoting staff development. So the monthly all staff meetings. So basically, I know it's tough to get everyone together, but I think we just need to kind of buckle down and set the meetings and then try and rotate the dates and times to make sure that at least, every other meeting or something, the staff can have a chance to make those meetings.
So I'm a little confused. So this is an edited version, but Tom hasn't received a copy of this yet, right?
No. So
haven't
we're
either.
kind of presenting that right now for everyone to see.
Can we get it in advance without all the markups?
I can-
Just get a updated document, and then Tom can look at it ahead of time, and we can look at it ahead of time, because And I think also too, it says January through July 2025. It's almost March, so
Yeah, we can adjust the date, I think, accordingly, just to
It's
make
hard
sure.
to follow without having it. I can't
Yeah,
really read it from
I-
here,
I
to be
can't.
honest.
I need it in advance, and we need to like accept the edits and send it out. Like
Okay.
with a
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's good.
document.
It sounds like it's good stuff, but it's just,
Yeah,
it's odd
I
to
don't
try to
have
look
any
at it this
problem with what you're saying,
way. And,
but
and these
it
are
needs-
goals. It doesn't mean this isn't stuff he's already been doing. These are just
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I just,
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
yeah, because he's been working hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, so I'll finish this, what I was kind of going through, but yes, we'll get again, I don't know why that other version, we do have I think we did have a version where the edits are accepted, but it wasn't looking right on
Yeah,
my
I think
iPad
we
thing.
should. I would prefer if we table it to next time, and I'd like to see it in advance so I could review it. And
I'm
give
thinking about
my
it too.
observation.
Like, yeah, it's yeah.
feel like I'm
it's,
not-
This
I
is
can't.
important. We
I
really.
mean, I
need
hear you
to-
saying it, but it's
yeah.
hard. To,
Yeah, so-
it's hard to really.
Yeah, I'll just kind of wrap up here. I mean, the second kind of half of it here is to, again, interface with the staff and, foster good relationships between yourself and the staff, between the all staff meetings, the one-on-one meetings.
So you're going to send this to us, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we should just wait for that. I think.
Yeah. So
I think it would be better.
we'll do that. I'll send, Doug or I will send this out to everyone before next meeting to get reviewed, and then we can approve it. We'll get the date updated so it reflects, the actual time frame here. But yeah, just to summarize, the focus is on kind of being proactive and taking the lead on a lot of things as it comes to, between programming and interfacing with other town departments and other things. And then the second portion here is about working with the staff and, kind of helping everyone grow together. So we'll, like I said, we'll get a properly edited version sent out for next meeting, and then we can hopefully approve them as a board next meeting, and then get them formally into place. Does that sound like a good plan?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. All right. So we will do that. All right. Okay. I don't think I need this anymore. All right. So policy updates from Aaron. Aaron's not here. I was at the policy subcommittee meeting with Tom and Kim and Mary, who's now a member of the committee as well. I think essentially we made a lot of good progress. We discussed a couple of the policies. I think what it kind of came down to is there were at least two policies that really required a major overhaul. And so I think Tom and Mary had agreed to take that on, since it is something that that they would kind of be experts in being able to craft that policy. So I think that was kind of the major end result of that meeting. I think there were some edits we did on another policy, but I'm completely blanking on what those were. Tom or Kim, actually, do you happen to remember what those were that we discussed?
Program and policy.
Yes. Programming policy, I believe we were wrapping up edits on that one.
Right.
And then there were two other policies which had come up. Actually, I think I can pull that up.
Library displays, volunteer material selection.
Yes. Because I think Mary is the volunteer coordinator right now.
Yes.
And then the displays and material selection are just ones that the draft we had didn't seem like it was going to fit what we wanted, so we kind of needed to start from scratch on that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any questions about the policy? Okay. Director's report, Tom.
Right. As is so often the case, we've discussed a few of these things already. So I sent this around to all the members, trustees, and say you perhaps have had a chance to look at it. But I did want to start off with the yearly circulation so far for 2025, because we are starting out pretty strong, and so it's really nice to see. So I have the numbers there for different areas for the 2025 numbers, and parenthetically the 2024 numbers, so you can see as a comparison how we're doing. So for instance, circulation, and this is so far for 2025,
Wow.
so basically 2 years. 2 months. So about 22,000 circulation for the 2 months. Breaking that down, primarily books, which is not a lot of surprise there. DVDs still very strong. Video games, large print. Library things was a substantial increase from last year.
Wow.
So in the first 2 months of this year, 527 Library of Things items have gone out, as opposed to only 122 at this point last year. So part of that is promotion. Part of that is that we're adding a lot more to the Library of Things collection, and we're promoting it, and the public's really responding to it, which is really nice to see. New patrons, you'd think at some point everybody in town would have a card,
That's
but
incredible.
it's just amazing that we continuously get new patrons coming in and registering, which is a wonderful thing.
That's phenomenal.
It
I
really
know
is.
People know that.
It really is.
That is really phenomenal.
That's
January. That's January.
That's just January and February.
Wow.
Yep, each one was about 80 some odd, 89 and 81, I think it was somewhere
Wow,
around there.
that's incredible.
Yeah, so it's pretty impressive. And then the number of items that have been added to the collection. So, and then I currently checked out is of the new items that have been added just in the past 2 months, over 350 of them are already
That's good.
out in circulation. So what I see from this is that we're doing very well, we're strong, and that the patrons are really responding to what we're doing, which is really nice to see. I will say that part of the circulation improvement, a good portion of that is probably due to the fact that the children's room is open,
Yeah.
because the children's room provides so much circulation for us. Because when the caregivers and the children come in, they take out 15 books. They don't just come and pick up their hold or more. I'm being informed. Yeah, I mean it's stacks.
Well, kids
So-
need books, right?
Yeah.
Kids need books. So the children's room is key. So having not had that last year, I know when I was doing the AIRS reports, I saw a considerable dip. The state aid reports. There was a considerable dip in circulation in the past year, and we seem, with the room open again, we seem to be recovering that, which is wonderful and admirable to the staff of the children's room.
really-
So
Congratulations.
yes, indeed.
That's great.
Okay, HVAC and teen office we discussed. The children's room update, which is nice to report things that aren't, like when is the flooring going to be put down and such. But I've been working with the children's room department head to plan some activities to take place during the schools, our local schools' April vacations.
Okay.
So we had discussed when the room was being reopened, the idea of having a big grand opening, which unfortunately coming at the end of October, November, it was not a good time for that weather-wise and holiday-wise, and with a lot of other things going
Just
on.
bad
So
with staff.
we had discussed in previous trustees meetings that we would move it forward, and so in our discussions, the April vacation seems to be the perfect time to be doing that.
Wow.
Great.
Okay.
So we already have some things that we're looking into, and I'll be providing more updates about those. But we have some good things planned, both for then and then potentially for June, because there is birthday celebration.
Jerome Wheelock.
Jerome Wheelock
Yeah,
birthday celebration.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
Be
looking
good.
for some events around there to tie in to celebrate the grand reopening of the children's room. So we owe that to the staff. We owe that to the patrons of the town. So
Great.
Awesome.
that seems to be coming along nicely. Grafton celebrates holidays we addressed, and then some more good news just to pass on. I talked last time about the Pen Pal program which we were doing,
Oh, yeah,
which is going beautifully, and so we are working with 3 other Graftons around the country, Ohio, West Virginia, and Wisconsin, and we have about 200 people participating and sending letters and cards and works of art sometimes back and forth, so that's coming along really nicely. We also, for December and January, we had a giving tree located in the large print room, and people really responded to that, and that was really a wonderful thing to see. So we collected about 125 items, socks, mittens, hats,
that's great.
scarves, and those were all donated to an agency, the Mustard Seed, in Worcester, and they were distributed to people who needed them much more than we did. And I received a really Mary Mertlin, who was one of the coordinators for it, passed on to me a letter of thanks from the treasurer and community member of the Mustard Seed Catholic Worker, and just expressing hospitality, gratitude for all that we had done. So we do a lot of things in the library. This is certainly one of them. We're certainly reaching out. We're reaching out to the community. We're also providing the community with opportunities to get involved.
Great to hear. I'll just add, I remember the days when we used to hit the limit on my wife's library card of 50 items, and then we would start using my library card to check out all the children's books. So that,
We're good with that.
yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
All right. Thank you for giving it the update, Tom. Any other discussion about the director's report or anything contained in where they're in? Yeah.
I do have a discussion. This is really positive too. There's something that Tom's been working on for the last couple months. The Small Stones Festival of the Arts, the nonprofit that's located in Grafton. Our goal is to enhance the appreciation and practice of art in the region. And so we've been talking about this, and we're going to have it's in conjunction with the Youth Art Month, which is being promoted at the library. There's going to be an exhibit of Grafton High School students' artwork. So it's going to exhibit where they're sending in their artwork, bringing their artwork. It's going to be juried and then shown at the event, and then there's going to be award winners, and so really excited. So Small Stones Festival has been working on it in conjunction with the Grafton High School, Nathan DePerry. He's the art teacher, so he's been working with it, and Carolyn Kenlock Winkler, along with Jennifer Byman, from the Small Stones, is working on it. They're both educators and artists, so we're really excited about that because we wanted to kind of reach out to the community and help get the youth involved in art. So, and the exciting thing, it's going to be in the Wheelock Historic Reading Room, and so it'll be up. The exciting thing is, and you're all invited to come. I'll send you invitations, but it's March 3rd, 6 to 8 p.m. is the opening. There's going to be a little opening celebration, and then it's going to be open until the 27th of March because it's going to be in the library. It'll be set up in such a way that it won't be affecting anybody's use of the room, but patrons will be able to come in and see it. So we're pretty excited to be up there for a month. It's something we've been talking about doing for many years, and Carolyn finally, I encouraged her, and she did a lot of work, and other people in the committee. So Carolyn and Jen. So I wanted to thank Tom for helping them because he really was encouraging. So that helped. So we're excited about that, and they're going to be on panels. They'll look professional. They're going to be framed, and they'll be on panels that have the lights. If you went to the show, it'll be similar to that.
Okay.
Except
so
it's going to be high school kids.
kind of like freestanding in the middle of the room.
I don't know exactly where it is, but they're working on it. They might have worked on it, but maybe some tomorrow and then Saturday.
Saturday is the setup,
Okay.
and so Carolyn came over the other day, and we were figuring out the best place to have this, and decided that it was in the Wheelock Room.
Great.
So it's going to be over the windows overlooking the street.
Okay.
And so the paneling will be up along there. It's
So the same,
Panels?
the same kind of panels. that
Yeah,
they
they're
use
like,
for
they're
the-
you've
cloth
seen those,
panels,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
I
the
think
artwork.
there's
that'd
gonna
be
be 16,
fantastic.
I don't,
Yep.
there's 16 pieces of artwork, I think. So I don't,
Yep, 16. That's what she said.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
That'll
it's gonna
be-
be really
it'll be
nice.
good.
I'm excited about having it in the library for a while too. It's nice that we're going to be able to do the opening, but we'll also be able to have.
yeah, we appreciate that. I think that's gonna be great.
What was the end date on it?
The 27th.
27th. Okay, yeah, almost a full month. That's great.
So hopefully, tell people about it. So we're starting to promote it. Carolyn didn't want too much done to promotion, but we're promoting it. So hopefully, if you have time, come to it. It's 6 to 8 p.m. on March 3rd, or just come in and see it, and then go on Facebook and talk about people what you've seen, because we're trying to encourage the artists, and I think young artists really, youth need encouragement, and hopefully more, their friends come. So that's
So
what that's our.
Monday, March 3rd from 6 to 8 is kind of like the opening, but then it'll be there for the rest of them.
Right, yeah, we did a Facebook post. We used one of the pictures that you sent me, Carrie.
Oh, good.
We'll do it on Instagram too. And if
I know, after you showed Tom's pictures, those
his
are
were
so
great
nice.
too.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm gonna use his
Like,
later
wow.
on, but we're gonna definitely take out thanks because I was panicking. But we're gonna take
Don't
pictures
panic.
of the exhibit.
Just reach out. Don't panic.
I was panicking. I'm like. So anyway, we're excited about it, and we'll see if we can get the Grafton News editor to come. I'm gonna invite her to see if she'll come, but. It's really for the the kids and their families, but please come. Anybody's welcome to come. Staff, anybody.
Okay, 6 to 8 p.m.
Great.
So I thank you very much, Tom. You really encouraged Carolyn because it was a bit of an undertaking. We figured out how to do things, and because we
pleasure
just had
working
the
with
big
her.
show, there was a lot of exhaustion after the show. We had over 1,000 people that came,
That was fantastic. Yeah, that was.
and we sold 18 paintings for the artists.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah,
They-
so
Was that up at the community
yeah, it's the
barn?
community
Okay.
barn, Brigham Hill Community Barn.
Yeah.
So come to it next year. We're going to be doing it again, our 8th year.
Great.
So thank you. I wanted to say thank you to Tom and Kim too, because Kim was helpful too. Carolyn made a note of that. So thank you.
Awesome.
I'll just throw out one thing related to that, which is I don't think we have it approved yet, but there's the art display policy, which I think was in the works at some point.
It is in the works. Yes.
Yeah, because we have
We have
those
yeah,
rails
we do
up
have those
around the
rails.
library. So maybe that's something could be done with once the policy's done for that. Maybe that we could work with Small Stones.
Yeah, maybe because we have a lot. You would not believe the amount of talent that's in this town. Grafton, Millbury, Sutton, Worcester. It's phenomenal, and the people getting better and better. And there's people, so that'd be fun. Maybe we can once we get that going.
Yeah, we could essentially have I think the intent was to have a kind of a perpetual
Yeah,
display of art.
Yeah,
So
that would be nice.
and it'd be in open places so that the art would be safe. Yeah.
Okay.
Be great. Yeah, good reminder.
all right. Any other discussion on the director's report? Okay. Hearing none. Public input. Any input from the public? Nope. Okay. I'll entertain. Okay.
When's our next meeting?
I'm sorry. Yeah. So next meeting, it says the Friends have their meeting on March 11th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. And the policy subcommittee is meeting on March 5th, 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. Just, to not have to worry about issues with weather and things. And then our next meeting is March 26th, 7 p.m. Meeting Room A, which I think is this room. So yeah. All right. I guess I'll entertain a motion about adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second that.
All right, motion made by Carrie, seconded by Chris. All in favor, or sorry, any discussion on the matter? All in favor? Aye.
Aye, great.
All right. We are adjourned at 8:50 p.m.